someone coming to look at the letter.
Give me time to get out.
Want to come in?
Thank you.
You're from out of town?
Oh yes, we are the way from Milwaukee. We have come from Madagascar, my husband and I. Oh, this poor little bird inside a tiny cage is much too small to keep a canary in.
It isn't a leaf canary.
No, it's dove. Oh. Winston is out there, dilly-dallying on the street, afraid her will miss the parades. The parades come by here, did it?
Yes, unfortunately, it does.
I've noticed your sign at the door. Is it true that you have one of Lord Byron's love letter?
Yes,
How very interesting. How did you get it?
it was written to my grandmother. It penned much to keep the Bourbon.
How very interesting. Where did she miss Lord Byron?
On the step of the Acropolis in Athens.
How very, very interesting. I didn't know that Lord Byron was ever in Greece.
Lord Byron spent the final years of his turbulent life in Greece.
He was exiled from England.
Yes, he went into voluntary exile from England.
Because of scandalous gossip in the Legends Court.
Yes, involving his half-sister one.
It was false, completely.
It was never confirmed.
He was a passionate man, but not an evil man.
Moral are such ambiguous matters, I think.
When the lady behind the trains come in.
You have to accuse her. She prefers to stay out.
Oh, I see. What was Lord Byron doing in Greece, may I ask? Fighting for freedom.
Yes, he went to Greece to join the forces that fought against the infidels.
He gave his life in defense of the universal cause of freedom. What was that? Did she say?
He gave his life in defense of the universal cause of freedom.
Oh, how very interesting. Also, he swam the Hellespont
Yes,
and burned the body of the poet Shelley, who was drowned in a storm on the Mediterranean with the volume of keys in his pocket. Pardon?
and burned the body of the poet Shelley, who was drowned in a storm of the Mediterranean, with a volume of keys in his pocket.
Oh, how very, very interesting. Indeed, I would like to so much to have my husband hear it. Do you mind if I just step out for a moment to call him in?
Please do.
Winston! Winston! Watch them carefully. Keep a sharp eye on them.
Yes, be still.
Winston, you just have sit down on the sofa. This lady are going to show us Los Angeles letter.
Shall I proceed?
Oh yes, this is my husband, Mr. Tutuler.
How do you do?
I am Mrs. Tutuler.
Of course, please keep your seat.
He's been celebrating a little. Ask him please to be careful with his cigar.
Oh, that's all right. You may use this bowl for your ashes.
Smoking is such an unnecessary habit.
Huh?
This lady was telling us how her grandmother happiness to Miss Lord Byron in Italy, wasn't it?
No. In Greece, in Athens, on the steps of the Acropolis, we mentioned that twice, I believe. Ariane, you may read them a passage from the journal first.
Yes,
But please, be careful what you choose to read.
like many other American girls of that day and this, my grandmother went to Europe.
The year before she was going to be presented to society.
How old was she?
16, barely 16. She was very beautiful too. Please show her the picture. Show these people the picture. It's in the front of the journal.
Oh, was a lovely young girl. Don't you think it resembles Agnes a little?
Huh?
Watch out, Ariane. You have to watch that man. I believe he's been drinking. I do believe that he's been...
Yeah. What is she saying back there? Oh,
Miss Tan, be quiet.
Near the end of her tour, my grandmother and her aunt went to Greece to study classic remains of the oldest civilization.
The oldest European civilization.
It was in an early morning in April of the year 800 and
27.
in my grandmother's journals, she mentions,
Read it, read it, read it.
Yes, please read it to us.
I'm trying to find the place. If you will be patient.
Certainly, excuse me. Miss Tan,
Here it is.
Be careful. Remember where to stop at, Ariane.
We set out early that morning to inspect the ruins of the Acropolis. I know I shall never forget how extraordinarily pure the atmosphere was that morning. It seems as though the world were not very old, but very, very young, almost as though the world had been newly created. There was a taste of earliness in the air, a feeling of freshness, exhilarating my senses, exalting my spirit. How shall I tell you, dear diary? The way the sky looked, it was almost as though I had moistened the tip of my pen in a shallow bowl full of milk. So delicate was the blue in the dome of the heavens. The sun was barely up yet. A tentative breeze disturbed the end of my scarf. The plumes of the marvelous hat, which I had bought in Paris, and thrilled me with a pride whenever I saw them reflected. The papers that morning, we read them over our coffee before we left the hotel, had spoken of possible war, but it seemed unlikely, unreal. Nothing was real, indeed, but the spell of golden antiquity and rose-colored romance that breathed from this fabulous city.
Skip that part. Get on to where she missed him.
Yes, out of the tongue of ancients, the lyrical voices of many long ago poets who who dreamed of the world of ideals, who had in their hearts a pure and absolute image.
Skip that part. Slip down to where?
Oh, yes, here. Do let I manage without any more interruptions. The carriage came to a halt at the foot of the hill, and my aunt, not being too well,
She had a sore throat that morning.
preferred to remain with the driver while I undertook the rather steep climb on foot. As I ascended the long and crumbling flight of old stone steps,
Yes, yes, that's the place. Go on, Ariane.
I could not help observing continually above me a man who walked with a very perceptible limp.
Yes, Lord Byron.
And as he turned now and then to observe beneath him the lovely panorama,
Actually, he was watching the girl behind him.
will you please let me finish? I was irresistibly impressed by the unusual nobility and refinement of his features.
The handsomest man that ever walked the earth.
The strength and glance of his throat, like that of a statue, the classic outlines of his profile, the sensitive lips, and the slightly dilated nostrils, the dark lock of hair that fell down over his forehead in such a way that
Skip that. It goes on for pages.
when he had reached the very summit of the Acropolis, he spread out his arm in a great, magnificent gesture, like a young god. Now, thought I to myself, Apollo has come to earth in modern dress.
Go on. Skip that. Get on to where she meets him.
Fearing to interrupt his poetic trance, I slackened my pace and pretended to watch the view. I kept my look thus carefully averted until the narrowness of the steps compelled me to move close by him.
Of course, she pretended not to see she was coming.
Then finally, I faced him.
Yes,
Our eyes came together.
yes, yes, that's the part.
A thing which I don't understand had occurred between us. A flush as of recognition swept through my whole being, suffused my...
Yes, yes, that's the part.
Pardon me, he claimed. You have dropped your glove. And indeed, to my surprise, I found that I had. And as he retorted to me, his fingers ever so slightly pressed the cups of my palm.
Yes,
Believe me, dear darling, I became quite faint and breathless. I almost wondered if I could continue my lonely walk through the ruins. Perhaps I stumbled, perhaps I swayed a little. I leaned for a moment against the side of a column. The sun seemed terribly brilliant. It hurt my eyes. Close behind me, I heard that voice again. Almost it seemed I could feel his breath on mine.
Stop there. That will be quite enough.
Oh, is that all?
There's a great deal more than not believed to people.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I will show you the letter.
how nice one I'm dying to see. Listen, do sit up.
Watch out! Watch out! The woman can't open the letter.
Oh, no, you mustn't. The content of this letter are strictly private. I will hold it for you over here at a little distance so you can see the writing.
Not close.
Only a short while later, Lord Byron was killed.
How did he die?
He was killed in action, defending the cause of freedom.
When my grandmother received the news of Lord Byron's death in battle, she retired from the world, and she remains in complete seclusion for the rest of her life.
How grateful. I think that was foolish of her.
You don't understand. When a life is completed, it ought to be put away. It's like a sonnet. When we have written the final couplet, why go on any further? You only destroy the part that's already written.
What is that? What is that? The parade?
Come on, Nana, you will miss it.
We usually accept a small sum of money. Just anything you can happen to think that you can spare.
Stop him! He's gone outside.
Please, $1, 50 cents, or a quarter.
Oh my goodness. Winston, he gets the parade in the ground. Winston, excuse me. Winston, oh my goodness gracious. He stopped again.
We usually accept a little money for this paper later. Whatever you feel you're able to give, as all the fact that we have to live on. $1, a 50 cents, or a quarter.
Winston, have you day today?
Colonel.
Gone? With the pain? She does?
Yes, the Colonel.
Elene, you drop my letter. Your grandfather's letter is lying on the floor.